Hello and welcome to Michael TV. Here's Friday in London and it's quite hot. Now with me today I have my taxi. Yes, my bicycle. But I have it for a reason. Because I want to explain something. You see, sexuality and spirituality is a tiny little bit like a bicycle. It has got a front wheel and it's got a back wheel. And you see, a bicycle works well when the both wheels are obviously going in the same direction. But imagine for a second if the front wheel was going forward and the back wheel, was going backwards. The bicycle wouldn't move. In fact, the bicycle would be torn apart, so to speak. And if it was possible, it would even break. Now you see, this is a little bit the dilemma what happens when it comes to gay people. You see, for straight people, there's no issue. Spirituality means God loves you, and sexuality, means that you're attracted to people of the opposite sex. So basically, you can become a fully integrated human being by loving God through prayer, and then by loving neighbor and having a special someone, be it husband or wife, and basically having kids and blah blah blah. So you see, you become fully human, fully prayerful, and we have numerous examples of many saints who live lives like this. But the problem is when it comes to gay people. You see, telling a gay person that God loves them, that you're a child of God, and that's your root identity, you can come to church, you can pray, awesome, okay. That, for example, is the front wheel. And if we tell people that, it's cool. However, if at the same time we tell them, now that you're a child of God, you cannot love people of the same sex, you must not love people of the same sex, it's a sin to love people of the same sex, it's a sin to have a relationship with somebody in the same sex, it's even, and some go as far as saying, it's a sin to even look at people of the same sex or admire them in any way. However, what you must do is either stay single or ask God to heal you, to change you. And you see, what happens is the person can't accept themselves. And going to this bicycle example, it's like the back wheel is moving the opposite direction. And people like this, you see, find them like this funny bicycle that I'm getting you to imagine, with the front wheel, the God wheel, so to speak, going one direction, and the back wheel, the wheel of humanity, going another direction. You see, God made these people with a natural attraction to their own sex. Now, I'm not talking about having sex, by the way. One can have a very deep, spiritual, intimate friendship or relationship with someone of their own sex without it getting sexual. However, many of you out there will not be able to understand that. But sadly, that speaks more about you than it does about me. However, if we focus or if we force people to be what they're not, well, then we're going to break people, just like the bicycle. People can't cope. People then will end up having nervous breakdowns. People will end up committing suicide. People will end up abandoning the church. But it isn't really that the gay community have abandoned the church. In some ways, it's that the church has abandoned the gay community. Or one could say, has never even been with them in the first place to abandon them. And so you see, our call today is to understanding the whole realm of what it means to be a fully integrated human being, not just from a heterosexual perspective, but also from a gay, homosexual perspective. And again, I'm not talking about homosexual sex, make it very clear. I'm talking about love. We can all experience love for certain people. Very deep, intimate love. It doesn't have to be sexual. It can be something far more intimate. But sadly, in today's society, and even in today's church, often this type of intimate love, intimate friendship, has also been demonized. And what God has made to be pure, this pure, intimate love, at times people can be condemned, people can be judged, and people can be forced almost out of the church if it happens. And so today my message is simple. Let us not judge. Let us not be the cause of people having nervous breakdowns, people suffering from anxiety and depression. Let us not be forcing people to be what they're not, forcing gay people to be straight people, forcing gay people to live single lives of misery. I meet so many old men in their 60s and 70s that have spent the last 30, 40 years living alone, and they're utterly miserable and sad. And yet they say they're Catholic and they do love Jesus. But somehow Jesus never asked them to be so alone. And if I was to show a young gay 15-year-old those old men, what hope is there there? They're going to kill themselves if they see that. So the challenge for us all today is to show the world out there how one can be gay, how one can be holy, how one can please God, how one can have holy, loving relationships. And yes, it challenges our theology. Yes, it challenges some of our traditional mindsets. But remember, when Jesus came, he challenged too. And so today I ask you to pray. Pray that your eyes be open. Pray that you too can help these people, and that you won't be someone that's actually causing them anxiety, causing them depression, causing them fear. Because this week I've received quite a bit of negative publicity, so to speak, from certain people. And you know what? It's still quite hurtful. These narrow-minded people who judge me, who judge Tony, who judge Seamus, who judge us all from their pedestals of perfection, apparently. And yet they know very little about us. They know very little about the lives we've lived. And so I pray today that you are not one of these people. And that if you are, that you will make a good act of contrition, go to confession if necessary, and ask for forgiveness and change. Because Our Lady is counting on you to be an apostle of love, to be an apostle of love to those people who haven't experienced love yet, and to be humble, to listen, not to ram religion down people's throats, but to gently love people's hearts. So thank you for listening, and I pray today that you too will find more integration in your life, so that like this bicycle, you can ride all around London and have a great time. Thank you for listening, and please pray.